What's up, guys? Welcome back to the MontyVerse. Today we're going to be checking out episode 2 of The Last of Us. We loved episode 1, and this is our first time experiencing The Last of Us. We've avoided all of the games just to get to this point, and I don't know, I think I might have to go back and play them after this. But Nikki, are you excited to jump into episode 2?
I'm excited. I was very pleasantly surprised by the first episode. Like, I know the source material is great, but I enjoyed it even more than I thought I would.
Yes, so we're very excited for episode 2, and we're going to be starting it right now. Previously on, you mean when you destroyed us emotionally?
I know, right?
So I don't say. These are not American vehicles.
Oh, that's interesting, seeing like other places where it happened.
Yeah, interesting. I don't think they ever went overseas in the game, but again, I never played the games, so.
Regardless, I like this as a development.
What's this about? Like a scientist?
Maybe. She looks important.
Profesor Mikologi, Universitas Indonesia. Kita memiliki orang yang tepat.
Man, those walls are clean.
Men yang telah kami persiapkan.
Ibu mungkin
Pendapat berat yang saya butuhkan.
And you're not gonna tell her? I wanna know.
Ya.
I wanna know something.
Cordyceps. Tapi kenapa menggunakan klorazol untuk mempersiapkan slide?
Kami gunakan sebagai persiapan pengambilan sampel dari tubuh manusia.
Oh god. So is this basically like where patient 0 probably is?
You have to imagine, right? Or maybe just like an example of a patient 0.
Ibu merasa mual. Sebaiknya ibu segera keluar.
Oh!
Kaki kiri bagian bawah, Bu.
Dang. Oh. So she's not patient 0.
She was attacked by one then?
That's a bite, right?
Yeah. That's 100% what I think.
Yeah, those are teeth marks. That's 100% a bite. Oh, look at that fungi. Told you. I know my teeth marks. I guess weird flex. I'm just so nervous.
More importantly, where's the person who bit her?
Well, obviously from the bullet hole in her head, I'm assuming with a bullet. They probably ravaged that person. Oh my god, it's still alive.
Telah menjadi keharusan sesuai dengan prosedur. Mereka harus tetap dieksekusi.
And that's also what I meant.
Okay, you're right.
I just didn't want to say they executed all of them, but I guess they said it for me.
Mereka masih berkeliaran di luar sana.
And this proves, because a lot of people last episode were theorizing that contaminated flour was how the virus spread.
14 orang hilang.
Oh, so that like explained Mrs. Adler in the last episode as well.
Yeah, because Sarah didn't eat the cookies.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know how that goes.
But this is so good.
Oh yeah.
Butuh obat.
Like, even though it's a foregone conclusion, I'm still invested in, like, this narrative through line.
But it's not...
Saya telah menghabiskan waktu hidup saya untuk mempelajari hal ini. Jadi tolong dengarkan saya baik-baik. Tidak ada obat. Dan tidak ada vaksin.
Jadi apa yang harus kami lakukan?
Bom.
Oh shit.
Mulailah pengoboman.
Start bombing everywhere?
Bom seluruh kota. Dan seluruh orang yang ada di dalamnya.
Are you at... But that wouldn't even stop a fungal spread.
Saya hanya ingin bersama dengan keluarga, dengan suami dan anak-anak saya.
She's gonna let her family be bombed? Oh my god. these openings are fantastic
Mhm.
because they're world building.
Mhm.
They're explaining to us how this virus works and why it's so dangerous without wasting the momentum of
Yeah.
the narrative. It's so brilliant, and I've never seen this done in a show like this before. Kudos to them, man. Oh my god, that was so good.
Right. And I think it's also a good use of like flipping back and forth between timelines and
Yes.
just periods of time like before it evolved. We talked a lot about that with the prelude in the first episode where it was back in the 60s on that talk show. This was another great example of it.
It's so good because in a zombie show, a lot of time is a lot of the momentum of the narrative is killed explaining the virus. Like, oh man, what's happening? Like 20 years later, it would be like, man, ever since the zombie apocalypse started, like all this happened. But now you don't need that because we're getting it with this, and now boom, we're jumping right into the action. I love it. Good, great, let's go. Give me some Joel. Where's my daddy?
Where is the daddy?
Where's the daddy? Now give me all the daddy. It's kind of beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing. I think we're gonna get a lot of really creative shots, like within whatever's left of civilization.
Morning. She locked me up and had her guys test me every day to see if I was getting sick.
Test you how?
I have to pee.
Test you how?
They'd make me count to 10 and hold out my hand and then keep it steady. But you know, I think what really impressed them was the fact that I didn't turn into a fucking monster.
Tear out a few pages.
There's not gonna be anything bad in here?
Just you.
Oh, funny.
You made it through the fucking night, Joe.
It doesn't matter. It's gonna happen sooner or later. All right, we're still close to the wall. We sneak her back into the QZ. We find a different way to get the battery.
This is our best shot. We take her back to the QZ, someone's gonna notice her arm. They're gonna scan her. Then they'll kill her.
Well, better them than us. You need to stop talking about this kid like she's got some kind of life in front of her.
Kind of like that Tess is a believer.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like that Joel's not. Kind of like that Joel's like.
You gotta have that dichotomy with something
You hungry?
like this.
You can share some of ours.
Thanks. Marlene sent me with my own.
Jerky. Man, I'm a big fan of jerky.
Same.
Oh, she's got a sandwich.
Is that chicken?
Yep. Marlene said they get it from smugglers. Guess not you guys.
Oh my god, I love Ellie.
She told me not to tell anybody, and I'm telling the first people that There's a Firefly base camp somewhere out west. With doctors. They're working on a cure.
I've heard this before.
And whatever happened to me is the key to
finding the vaccine. That's what this is. We've heard this a million times. Vaccines, miracle cures. None of it works, ever.
Fuck you, man. I didn't ask for this.
You and me both. This isn't gonna end well, Tess. We need to go back.
Oh my god, look at that shot. Ellie in the light, Joel in the dark, Tess in the middle.
It doesn't matter if she is or she isn't what the Fireflies say. If they believe that she is, then we get what we want.
I mean, yeah.
Like, unless there's actual danger, there's nothing like about this
If she
that's
so much as twitches.
not going to benefit them.
Please remind me to talk about that shot when we break this down because that shot, gorgeous. Not gonna lie, that sandwich looked kind of good though.
Can I have a gun?
Absolutely not.
Okay, Jesus, fine. I'll have to throw a fucking sandwich at them.
That is horrifying, but there's something so
Peaceful.
beautiful about it, you
Mhm.
know?
I mean, it's kind of that cliche of like when humans aren't interfering with
Should get
nature,
Yeah.
that's when it's at its best.
I mean, it's all ivy and
Mhm.
vinca and it's all stuff that's highly invasive, but it's still beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like a fucked up moon. Is it bombed?
Yeah. They hit most of the big cities like this. They have
Jesus.
to slow the spread somehow. worked here, but it didn't in most places.
I was gonna say, what was the efficacy of it? Efficiency?
See,
I'm trying to think of the right
and
word.
now we get that link to the opening. So
Right.
good. Man, I imagine the set decorators having a ball
Oh, yeah.
doing this.
How did you get bit?
You know the old mall in the QZ?
The one that's sealed off and boarded up and no one's supposed to go in? Ever? That one?
Whatever, I snuck in.
I don't think so.
14.
Wow. I mean, you got some balls on you, sister.
Tess is wonderful.
Yes, Tess is great. I love all the little details to the props, like how his gun strap is all taped up. Like from rips and like...
Oh, yeah.
And after you, right? Like mom, dad, boyfriend.
I'm an orphan, and no.
Not exactly like that.
You know, people like to tell stories.
AK propaganda.
Aren't super
Yeah.
infected that explode fungus spores on you?
Shit, I hope not.
Or ones with split open heads that see in the dark like bats?
I'm assuming both of those are foreshadowing, but I'm sure the people in the comments are going to... Don't spoil it.
I was gonna say, I mean,
But let us know. But don't let us know. Never mind. Don't let us
like,
know.
I'm sure it's a possible hazard that's probably exaggerated to stay safe.
Well, I know that they're called clickers, and we saw the one in the trailer
Yeah.
with the head split open. So
So that eventually, at some point,
yeah, I mean,
to an extent, we just don't know.
yeah. I like that. I don't know why, but I like the little frog playing the piano. Oh my god! Well, here's the rule of thumb: if the environment looks like regular fungus is growing there,
Kidding me.
probably get out of there.
Yeah.
You ever stay in a place?
I know what this is.
Have you heard of books?
Oh.
Well, I don't know how to swim.
Seriously?
Do you think we have pools in the QZ?
No, smart ass. I mean,
I don't know how I was supposed to know that. Ding ding! Yes, sir, I would like your finest suite, please. Yes, ma'am. Would you like me to check your luggage? Yes, ma'am. Right away, ma'am.
you're a weird kid.
Kid. Oh,
You're a weird kid. I love all the tape on his back. Like, costumes, props, everything. Did such an amazing job.
You're admiring, like, all the really impressive parts of it, and I'm just thinking, how many times has she used an F-bomb?
Well, wasn't that bad.
It's HBO.
Try climbing 10 fucking floors with our knees. See how you feel.
I love that. I mean, listen. If I was them living in this world, I'd be dropping F-bombs every scene, too.
Nice knife. Where'd you learn to do that?
The circus.
Whoa.
Where are you from?
Texas,
What about Tess?
Detroit. It's in Michigan.
I go to school. I know where Detroit is. So, you two, like,
Pass.
how'd you end up in Boston?
Pass. No more questions about me.
How long do infected live?
Oh, I thought you went to school.
It's a really shitty one.
Well, some last about a month or two. But there's others been walking around about 20 years.
Whoa. It's a lot.
They're connected.
More than you know. The fungus also grows underground. Long fibers like wires, some of them stretching over a mile. You step on a patch of cordyceps in one place, and you can wake a dozen infected from somewhere else. Now they know where you are, now they come. You're not immune from being ripped apart. You understand? It's important.
I love this world
I'm
building.
trying to keep you alive.
It's so good. That's a lot of fungi.
bone dry. Could mean they're all finally dead in there. Marlene packing one of these or just sandwiches?
I have a spare hand.
Congratulations.
She wants one so badly.
Yeah. She has one, but I don't think she understands that it's a tactical purpose. So you can see where you shoot. Oh no, she wants a gun, you're right.
Yeah.
I missed that. That went over my head. Sorry, I'm so like...
You're entranced.
Yeah.
For good reason.
Wonder if there's a statue of Mark Wahlberg in here.
Again though, would he have been as big a deal?
You're right, I forgot. This is 2003. No, he probably wouldn't. Marky Mark maybe, and the Funky Bunch. Maybe there's a statue of Donnie Wahlberg and New Kids on the Block.
That, I think, is actually a lot more likely.
Yeah. It's just like, you know, like when you know something's gonna happen. Oh my god. I love how... no, I'm whispering. I love how an act so small as that tiny crunch made both of us jump. Like, it was so good.
It's like Quiet Place-esque, where it's like...
And this music is so eerie and just quiet enough. Stop turning back. Oh my god, why do they suck at shooting? Oh no! Get up! Why am I whispering?
I was gonna say, I couldn't
oh
hear
my god!
you.
I'm so... You know this thing's gonna pop up right there.
Yeah. We're damn well just blow its brains out.
Come on, Joel.
What was it you said? What were their names again?
Clickers.
Okay, yeah,
That's what our good friend John Lestrina told me. Where's Tess? Damn it, I'm whispering again. Where's Tess?
Oh
my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. probably gonna need those bullets. Yeah, Tess. She wants to ask him a question. Okay. Maybe a couple of bullets.
You alright?
Well, I didn't shit my pants.
Oh my god.
You fucking kidding me?
She got bit again?
I mean, if it was gonna happen to one of us.
I don't know if it was bit or like cross-contamination.
No, she got bit.
Over there?
Yeah, I know, looks scary.
That was scary. This is wood.
Damn, what a badass.
Oh god.
Electric tape. Listen, electric tape, strong. Oh
Take
man.
it for once, maybe we can actually win. Just go and watch her.
It's weird. Right?
What?
That's weird, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
It's a little aggressive. That was... Tess is acting weird.
Is it everything you hoped for?
Jury's still out. But man, you can't deny that view.
Gorgeous. I love that. Oh my god. Just the subtle looking at the watch. Reminds him of his daughter. Why is this so good? Like, this is quality, man. So much detail. Did Tess get, like, super strength? Because she's, like, hustling right now. Oh no, foreboding. That's a truck. Military truck. It's gotta be the Fireflies.
Where the fuck are they?
Man, why so many feet close-ups this episode? Who directed Tarantino? Ugh.
Ew.
Joe? What the fuck is going on?
I don't know.
They went inside.
If someone could tell me, that would be great.
Tess!
I don't know how much I could take.
Tess, it's over. We are going home.
It's not my fucking home! I'm staying. I mean, our luck had to run out sooner or later.
Fuck.
Oh no.
She's infected.
Oh no. 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 Oh no. Well,
Look,
oh my god, it healed.
Joel. This is real. Joel, she's fucking real. I need you to get her to Bill and Frank's.
No.
They'll take her off your hands. They'll handle it from here.
No, I can't. They won't take her. They're not gonna take her.
They will, because you'll convince them. Yes, you will. I never ask you for anything. Not to feel the way I felt. Not to... You shut the fuck up, because I don't have time. This is your chance. You get her there. You keep her alive. And you set everything right. All the shit we did. Please say yes, Joel. Please.
Oh, fuck!
Oh god. Oh no. The noise. Oh no. It's gonna draw all the ones from the city to where they are.
How many?
All of them. Maybe a minute.
What are you doing?
Making sure that they don't follow you.
They don't even give me time to be bummed out.
Say who you can say.
Save who you can save. That's fucking powerful.
No! We're not leaving her! Get off me, you fucker! We're not coming with you!
That's such a fucking bummer, man. I love Tess.
I know. I think that's kind of sweet that Ellie cares that much now. Well, probably because she was the one that believed in her first and foremost.
I also love Anna Torv. Love Fringe. Come on.
Come on. No, no, no.
Oh god.
Ew. Come on, come on.
God, that was gorgeous. What a way to go, though. Like, why does every episode have to kick me in the balls?
I would say that's a good thing as a narrative, though.
Oh my gosh, what an episode, man. What? Guest starring Anna Torv. Don't you do Anna Torv like that, man. I'm team Anna Torv. I'm Torv team, baby. Let's go.
The Torv team.
I'm Torv team, baby. Let's go. Anna Torv.
The Fringe fanatic.
The Fringe fanatic. Let's go. where are all my Fringers at? Let's go. Fringe squad, rise up. What a beautiful show this is.
It really is.
Like the gamut of emotions I run from intrigued to shocked to nervous to sad. It's a gorgeous hour-long like event.
Mm-hmm.
The visuals this episode were particularly stunning.
I know, and like, just because you want me to remind you, I know you loved that one particular shot.
Yes,
where Ellie was bathed in light, in comparison to Joel, who was shrouded.
It was that because it was like they're deciding at like Tess is the leader. Tess was the leader.
Mm-hmm.
She was deciding what to do, and then you have Ellie with this light shining on her. Like Ellie is the angel on her shoulder, and Joel is the devil. Joel's saying, no, we gotta go back. F this kid, F them kids. We gotta go back. And he's in the darkness, he's in the shadow, and then she's in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so gorgeous because this show, one thing I will give this show a lot of credit for is the visual storytelling. Oh my god, like they treat the audience like intelligent human beings. And when you do that, the product is so much better for it. Because we get that scene, and then there's a second scene I wanted to point out, which is when Joel kind of bonds with Ellie and they're moving and she like mouths off to him a little bit and goes down the ladder. Mm-hmm. And then he just quickly glances at his watch and then goes back down. Because it's like it tells you why Joel is distant to Ellie. It tells you why Joel is warming up to Ellie at the same time. He still has Sarah in his head. And you don't need him to sit down
and be like, go, I have this daughter and you're just like her.
I miss my daughter so much, because we know he misses his daughter. And that watch tells you like he still holds on to that pain from that day. Mm-hmm. So again, gorgeous. But Nicki, you start talking because I'm all emotionally flustered right now.
I mean, we said it a lot during the reaction, but just like we kind of said, the way that they're formulating, telling the story from the different time periods and what they show us, what they don't tell us, what they don't necessarily show us. I think they do it so well and intricately. And so far with just the 2 episodes, like, there's a bit of like a similar formula and way they're telling it, but I love the way they do it. And I'm interested to see how they play with that going forward with, do we see kind of these different point of views? Do we see how it affects other people around the world and like how other people and nations like reacted to it? Like because the bombing, by all means, it's like, if they didn't have that opening scene, like, sure, you could have gone on the rest of the episode and it would have been a big deal. But I think it enriches the world building for having it.
Oh, absolutely, because what's so cool about these opening scenes are, because let's compare it to the video game, which we've never played. But let's compare it to video games, because we've played video games before. And usually when you play a game, you get pieces of information through like background dialogues
and
or through like pieces of paper that you pick up in the game.
Oh, yeah,
There's
yeah.
world building done as you're playing the game, but you can't do that in a TV show. Every time you stop to world build, it takes away from the momentum of the plot, of the narrative. Mm-hmm. But this, they're weaving those world building intricate details into the narrative. Mm-hmm. And it's so smart because those preludes, those prologues, they don't stop, like, they add to the momentum building of the episode. It's like, here's that prologue. They give you the little appetizer, and then the episode is just go. Because this episode didn't stop. When Tess got bit, they didn't even give me time to process, let alone Joel and Ellie. So it just doesn't stop. Mm-hmm. And the writing is so good.
Right.
It's like they're I don't know if they did this in the games. I don't know if they did narrative stoppages to tell like different stories, but I think it works in TV so well.
Yeah.
And I think this was what sets it apart from other video game adaptations, because other video game adaptations outside of one of the best ones, Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic Team represent. But what makes this one of the best, if not the best, is they totally conformed to the platform that they're telling the story on now.
Yeah.
So they said, this is going to be on HBO. This is not going to be a video game. How do we tell this story the best way possible for the medium we're working with?
Yeah.
And I think it's working so well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially like for a TV show, because you talk about the medium, and by all means, if they wanted to adapt this into a movie, I'm sure they could have gotten away with it, and like cut whatever they needed to expedite it. But I think with the amount that we're going to get, it's the stuff that we're seeing with the world building. Like, it's drawn out, but it's not in a way that feels bloated or like they're talking at us. Like, when they do sit down to explain stuff, like, it feels kind of natural. Especially, I mean, having Ellie as a very young character, it's like, hey, she's like, in that way, she's kind of the audience surrogate to learn certain things because this is all she's known. But then she knows things that Joel and Tess had no reason to know. So the way they utilize it is effective.
Absolutely. And the 2 scenes of really exposition in this episode are just the throwaway line where Tess goes, oh yeah, where Ellie goes, oh, is this where they bombed? And then Tess gives that throwaway line. But because you have that knowledge from the prologue, you can glide right through it. You're like, oh, okay. In your head, you're going, oh, okay, I know why that happened. Let's continue. But if they just said that in passing, your mind would be going, oh, wow, that's really interesting. How did that happen? Why did they do that? But you don't need to stop. Your brain doesn't need to stop now to process that.
Right. And frankly, I think that an opening scene, even though we are probably never going to see those characters again, I still loved it.
So clever. Like, the storytelling, the way they're choosing to tell the story, I think is so clever. And I give the entire writing team tremendous props. I'm focusing a lot on the writing right now, but the first 2 episodes have been so good. But there are other departments I want to give shout-outs to as well, but we have to talk about the writing. And then the second time we get that exposition dump is with describing how the fungus is almost a hive mind. It's essentially almost a hive mind. But that sets up the ending of the episode.
And it also shows just how much more dangerous they are, because you can't just come across one and then shoot it on spot and be like, okay, whatever. No, you could just be even more screwed over as a result of that.
That adds to the tension. That one scene, so that 1 minute scene of exposition adds to the tension through that second half of the episode. Because when they're in the museum, which we got to talk about that scene. Oh, brother. When they're in the museum and they're stepping around, you're like, oh no, don't step on a fungus.
I know. Like, I made the half joke of like, oh god, it's like A Quiet Place, but like that is the kind of level of tension that they were building.
This came first.
Yeah. I'm saying it's like that kind of equivalency.
Oh, absolutely. I would think this worked better because I was whispering. Like, when that scene was going, my mind, it made me whisper.
Oh, I was just hoping, like, I hope he hopes I'm not going to say anything, because I don't know what the hell you were saying.
And then I caught myself. I'm like, oh, why am I whispering? I'm not in there. But it sucked me in so well that I felt like I was in there. And that's great storytelling.
Yeah. Also, holy hell, the clickers are creepy as hell.
So scary.
But what makes them scarier to me is, and like, yeah, I know we saw the glimpse of them in the preview for the season, but I didn't realize how humanoid they were going to be.
So creepy. The clicking, like almost like that raptor-like shriek, and then the clicking is so terrifying in the silence. We got to give props to the composers. Yeah. The score is great. The score in those quiet scenes, especially the way they suck out a lot of that sound, and there's still score there, but they bring the gain down real low. Oof. Oh my god, it's just killing it.
Yeah, it makes me so squeamish. But
prop and set design. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it makes me so squeamish thinking about it, but I think that's just how effective it is.
Absolutely, prop and set design. This episode was gorgeous. Mm-hmm. The exterior shots of seeing the world. Our first time seeing the world, the larger world. I mean, we saw the outside of the QZ zone last episode, but I think for us to see a major metropolitan in this world, it was gorgeous. The way kind of like the all of the invasive plants kind of started taking over, and it's nature meets the old world meets the new world. I love that the differentiation of color and brightness in the sun, and then that darkness in like the museum, and really good. Really, really good. And then they pulled the rug out. And then when they made it to their desk, well, I noticed Tess was acting weird. So I knew something was up.
So I want to say this, because you kind of said your take already. It's such a gut-wrenching scene, but like, they built Pedro and Bella as the leads, so I'm not that shocked that it happened.
Episode 2?
I'm shocked it happened as early as it did. I'm not shocked that it happened at all.
Okay, yeah, but like...
It was more abrupt than I thought it would be.
I thought we were going to get more than... I guess when they reached their destination and nothing happened, I was like, wait a second. They're here already? This is only episode 2.
Yeah.
Like, how are we going to do this? So when they started hinting like, oh, it's a 10-minute walk, I'm like, oh, that's pretty quick.
Yeah.
So I guess in my heart of hearts, I knew something was going to go wrong.
Yeah. But, like, here's what is so great to me is the fact that, like, okay, we know, like, time's up for her. And that this is going to, like, doom and spell for her no matter what. And she's like, okay, you guys get out of here. I'll take care of them. Because she's dumping all the gas or oil and everything. And, like, and just the intensity of trying to see if she's going to light her lighter. Like
so
that,
good.
And then the way that one just so creepily went up to her. And I'm just like, oh my god, like, she's not going to do it. And then she did. And I was like, holy hell.
Great way to go. Great way. Like, the explosion. I love that quiet moment where she just looks at Joel and she says, save who you can save.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm fucked. Like, like you can't save me. Like, what are you going to do? Waste all your time trying to save me? Save yourself, save the kid, get out of here.
Yeah.
And all she had to say was save who you can save. And I thought that was so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my God, the writing this episode, it's great. Like, I have chills, goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah.
There's some of the best dialogue
and she even,
on TV.
She even slipped in the line of, like, that she had unrequited feelings for him. But, like, on the one hand, like, I made a quick mental note of that, even though it's not super surprising. But at the same time, it's, like, it also didn't detract from everything going on with her at the same time.
Yeah. It's just so good. And now he feels obligated to kind of...
Go ahead with this.
Even though he's against it, like, he lost so much. Mm-hmm. Like, he can't turn back now.
Yeah. Well, at the same time, it's like, what else is there at this point?
Yeah. So good.
Mm-hmm.
Man. The Last of Us gaming fans, you guys have been sleeping on this for this long and no one told me about it? Well, that's not true. John Mastrina has been constantly telling me how good The Last of Us is.
This was your decision to not play.
You're right. I said when they announced this, I'm like, I'm not touching the remastered game. I'm not going to play The Last of Us 2. I'm going to wait until this gets made. Because I want to because everyone says how great this is. I want to see it for myself. And you know what, guys? You're right, okay? This is pretty damn great. Damn, what a great episode. Oh, my gosh. I need to sit on it for a while to really interpret how great it is, but Man, I feel like I've said so much already, and I feel like there's so much more I can say. I'm trying to think, like, do I want to make this like a 10-hour video? but I think that's where, I don't know.
I was gonna say, it's like there's all these details and like all these elements of both episodes so far that we can applaud. At the same time, I think it's also what's so wonderful is it's also straightforward at the same time. It's like it's something that, I mean, provided that you're into this and not more squeamish than I am, I think this has the ability to appeal to a lot of people.
Absolutely, it's such a beautiful story, and there's so much going on. There's so much,
but it's also not overwhelming.
Yeah, it's like if you watch, it rewards you for paying attention. If you're paying attention and you're invested in the story, it rewards you. And again, that's everyone is firing on all cylinders. Writing, directing,
acting, set
design, prop design. Everyone is just, because we didn't even talk about how good Pedro and Bella were this episode. But flowers to Anna Torv, because where are my fringe maniacs at? Where are my fringers at? Because Anna Torv's been killing it since Fringe, and no one puts enough respect on her name. So I'm here to say Anna Torv gets all the respect this episode. Oh my god. Did I just have a Torv tantrum? Hashtag Torv tantrum, guys. I thought she was great. Tess. I love Tess. What am I going to do without Tess now?
I know. I mean, I feel like she's already going to be considered a standout for the series. And the only way she isn't is if the series somehow, like, gets even better.
Like,
which hey, I'll say yes to that.
Like, I'm not... Like, Sarah was emotionally devastating. Like, watching Sarah die was emotionally devastating because there was so much emotion into it. Watching Tess die just sucks.
I know.
It's just sucky, and it's like they know. Like, all you The Last of Users out there, you knew. And it's just like... it's like now we're experiencing it. Like, that's a bummer. That's such a bummer. It sucks so bad. Like, because, like...
I have a feeling you're going to continue to feel that way watching the show, though.
Oh my gosh. Tess! Torv! Torv. All right. You know what? I'm done. I'm emotionally spent. You guys have taken enough from me today.
Maybe you should go have ice cream.
Yeah, alright. Maybe. I don't know. We'll think about it. I'm too depressed for ice cream. I'm too upset for ice cream. Where's Tess's ice cream? She can't have it anymore.
Oh, that's dark. I don't know if they even
just
had
got
it
real
to
dark
begin
with
with.
it. Oh no. Sorry guys. Well, if you like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the notification bell, because we have tons of content coming soon, and you can watch us torture ourselves by watching the rest of The Last of Us. So, Nikki, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Twitter at @EggLordNikki.
And you guys can find me on all of the socials at the MontyVerse. And until next time, guys, stay versed.